So I took a trip to San Francisco with the family and was able to hit a couple of 2, 3 bookstores. Picked up a few things. That I share. First, my friend Amir and I went to Silver Sprocket. And Silver Sprocket, they're an independent publisher. They are the mecca for independent publishers and small press zines, supporting local communities. Very LGBTQ friendly. People that were there were just really great. So it was almost like overstimulation. There were so many books, so many things there. But what I did get from there was Magical Beatdown 2 and 3. I have one, and I love this series. It's funny because I'm not a target demographic for this, but I really enjoy it. Jen Woodall does a great character who, it's a feminist bent, and what I like, it's blue and white, until the main character comes into her like superhero form, and then everything is this hot pink. I would describe this as a little bit of Sailor Moon and a little bit of Johnny Ryan. Really well done. Really enjoyed this. And this is issue number 3. Came out, I think, in 2022. So I'm hoping that there is going to be a 4th volume coming out soon. Great stuff. I also picked up this M.S. Harkness's 6 mini comics. This is a compilation of 6 previously published stories published in small press anthologies. And nice surprise, it's actually signed by M.S. Harkness. So this is a book that I was interested in getting. I saw it there and picked it up. Big fan of her work. And also at Silver Sprocket, I got a sticker pack from Fun Girl. They're the outfit that publishes the English translated version of Fun Girl. And I was talking about how much I love this series. So they were nice enough to give this to me when I bought the books. Looking forward to this. I also went to Green Apple Books. This is a used bookstore that's been around since the 80s. They just a really nice bookstore that you would see up north, somewhere like in Boston or New York, and picked up a few nice finds. They had a section that was $5 and under. So this is Blue is the Warmest Color. This is a French graphic novel that came out in 2010, I believe, or 2011. This is the English translated version, 2013. I had heard about this book about 3-4 years ago. It's a lesbian love story. I'm about 44 pages in. It's really well done. Really, I know there's supposedly some tragedy in this. They've already kind of hinted at it, but it's really well done book. This was $4.98, $5, so I couldn't pass it up. And when I go shopping, if I go to another city and I see a comic or I see a graphic novel and it's selling for retail there, I have really no incentive in my mind to buy it there, unless it's just really hard to find anywhere, because if I can buy it at retail there, I'll just buy it retail here online. The only difference is that if there's no discount, maybe shipping and handling. But if I see something that I'm curious about and it's at a good price, or maybe sometimes you'll see a graphic novel that had one printing, hard to find, and then it's sitting on a shelf for like 15-20 years and you find it in new condition, like I did a couple of Joe Matt books. That's when I find it really interesting. So this has been very good. And also from Green Apple Books, I picked up Night Hunters. This is a 4-issue miniseries by Alex Ziri, and I want to say, I know that I'm going to say the wrong first name, and I apologize. Dave Baker. This came out about 3 years ago. Alex Ziri is artist that is Venezuelan. He predominantly, or previously actually, lived in Doral, Florida, which is a suburb that's like maybe 10 miles north of where I live. I believe now he's operating out of Flagstaff, Arizona, or at least Arizona for sure. Cyberpunk story, cool art. And I've heard about this, and I've had some friends tell me this was a pretty good pickup, but I never got around to seeing the trade in the wild. Wasn't sure. But this was $2.98, $3. So even if it's terrible, I've only spent $3, which is less than a new comic. And when I got back to where we're staying, this has a book plate that's signed by Azarit and Baker. So $3, pretty good deal. Really couldn't pass it up. I also went to Kinokuniya. This is a large bookstore chain that has headquarters in Tokyo, and you'll find them in major cities. It's a Japanese media mecca. It's DVDs, manga, in Japanese language manga and English language manga, Japanese magazines, books, just everything you can think of. Huge selection. And I did look around, and like I said, most of the stuff was current, so there's nothing there that I could get there that I couldn't get anywhere else. But this caught my eye. This is a single story graphic novel called Look Back. Story and arts by Tatsuki Fujimoto, who's really famous for Chainsaw Man. And I really enjoyed Chainsaw Man because even though you think Chainsaw Man and the whole premise of it seems just basically it's just action killing, there's actually nice subtext and characters that you get a lot. When you get that subtext, when you get that background information, you actually get into the characters more. So there's a single one shot, but I believe this is being made into a film. So since I don't see these in the wild and I was there, I thought I'd pick it up because I'm a big fan of his work. I went to the Cartoon Art Museum over on the wharf, and it's a small place, but I would recommend if you're in San Francisco to visit it because they have long exhibits with Filipino artists, including Nestor Redondo and Alfredo Alcala, who did great work in the 70s and 80s. They have original art. It's really beautiful to see that nice, beautiful, delicate line work that you just don't see in comics anymore. And in addition to that, they have an exhibit currently featuring Dave Stevens' art. Dave Stevens is very famous for creating The Rocketeer, and besides that, having a long career in comics. And so most of the exhibit focused on original art from The Rocketeer. But there were also a couple of little other things. Apparently, he did the storyboards and an animation cell for the 1979 Spider-Woman cartoon. That was news to me, but also more interesting, and I posted this on my Instagram. He did the storyboards for Michael Jackson's Thriller video, and they're very quite detailed storyboards. It's really interesting to see that he was part of that history as well. So it's a small place, but I think it's worthwhile seeing. And they also have a reference library, and you have to check out this reference library because they have first editions of lots of famous manga, graphic novels. They have everything from Winsor McCay to Charles Schultz, Osamu Tezuka, Marvel, DC, Independence, the EC books, just everything. So reference library, you can't check anything out, but you can use it for reference while you're there. And that was just, you go in there and you just see comics. Some of these books are just worth a ton of money, or just things that I never even knew existed. So that was cool. And while I was there, they have a collection of some of the previous exhibits that they've had. They had one with I forget the name of the artist right now, but this one they actually had an exhibit, I would say maybe 15 years ago, maybe a little longer, featuring Gene Colan. Oh, Sam Keith. Sam Keith, he also had a book like this. They had an exhibit of his back maybe 10 years ago. But what they do have is that they have these books for some of the prior exhibits. There are these, I would say larger than a typical graphic novel. This is a graphic novel. This is the size. And what's really interesting is, aside some ephemera and biographical information and information. They have reproductions of original art, and these reproductions are really good. The paper is nice, good quality paper. These are really good reproductions of his art, and it just goes through his career from the 50s of the EC through the 60s up until I think the 80s. And getting books that reprint original art, they're usually very expensive. I mean, you can, when the hardcovers come out, they're like $150, maybe more. When the paperback versions come out, they're at least $50 retail, maybe more. So for this was $17.99, so for less than 20 bucks including tax, this is a nice package of art, and it's a nice presentation. And I thought it was just, I'm a big fan of Gene Colan. A lot of the early comics when I was young, I was reading, were either reprints. Reprints were very common back in the day, so I've seen a lot of Gene Colan's work, famous from his Tomb of Dracula and Daredevil work. It includes this really nice two-page spread from 1978. This is probably a year before Frank Miller took over on art, and then eventually took over writing as well. For some history, kind of like place in the time. But more of his Tomb of Dracula work and Daredevil work. Again, it's just a really nice presentation of his original art, and for under 20 bucks, you really can't beat it. Nice book, so I'm glad I got it. And lastly, at Green Apple, I got George Sprott by Seth. My friend Amir pointed this out to me, and it was funny because the paperback was maybe like this big, and this is the hardcover, and this hardcover's got to be, I'm gonna say 10 by 14, 11 by 14, 10 by 14, and the price of the paperback and the hardcover were the same, 15 bucks, but this has never been reprinted, so I wanted to pick it up. And the whole question I had in my mind was like, am I going to be able to fit this in my luggage? When we travel light. We take carry-ons. We don't even like pack a big suitcase and do that. Everything's like portable. And I was able to get it in my suitcase. And this is something that I don't think has been reprinted. This is if I remember correctly, this is something that was serialized daily in the New York Times in the mid-aughts, and then this was collected in 2009. This is a hardcover edition, and like I said, I'm just a big fan of Seth. His art, his design style, how much care and work he puts into these characters, creating this little universe, this fictional town of Dominion. And then it includes pictures like the serial did of like these models and mock-ups that he did of buildings that are referred to in the story for this fictional town, sort of like what Chris Ware does, where they actually create models of the things they're working on. Just a really lovely book. I love the different shades of paper that are used, sometimes different color schemes. Just really very cool triptych here. Just a really interesting physical package, and it was 15 years old, and really great shape. So for 15 bucks, this was a great purchase. I really enjoy reading this. I always enjoy finding Seth, and as I said, Seth's work, for some reason, a lot of it just doesn't get republished. This is why I haven't gotten to Palookaville, because he doesn't want those original issues republished. So it's nice finding his stuff in the wild, because I don't know if it's really that it's expensive. It's just hard to get your hands on it. And I could go on eBay and so on and so forth, but it's just nice finding it in the wild. That's it. I didn't go crazy. I was looking for bargains. I found a lot of bargains. Want to thank my friend Amir for being a chauffeur for my Comics Day, and the San Francisco Muni Mass Transit System for taking me to wherever else I needed to go. Very reliable. If you do get a chance to go to San Francisco, please visit Silver Sprocket. I think it's a really special store. I wish I was only there 30 minutes, maybe 30, maybe 40. I could have probably spent all day there easily from open to close. That's it. Let me know if any of these books you've read, or let me know if you have any thoughts. It's an eclectic mix, but I think these are all going to be very good. Thanks.